Hey guys, what's up? Alex here, and my last video, in this video, I'm trying to paint this backstory to really explain my emotional recovery from top surgery. So my last video I talked about an experience I had with a support meeting that wasn't very supportive, and the 15-minute mark was hitting, so I wasn't able to really conclude my thoughts with that, but I do want to say I feel really, I have a very strong sense of social responsibility to advocate the lack of support that I received and that other people in my community are receiving, and I feel really empowered by that. I'm gonna bang on doors until I talk to the right person. I need to be a little bit more physically healthy before I can really tackle this beast, but I do plan on being an advocate for some change with this group. So thank you for all of your supportive comments and well wishes and kind thoughts. So this video is about firing my gender specialist. So that happened about a week after surgery. Again, like painting the picture here. So I'd started seeing this gender specialist about 2 years ago. I found her, I think, through Laura's Playground or that website. And it's great because I wanted to be able to come home and talk to someone that I'd worked, it was great because I was in Korea, I had to live as female, and I was acutely aware of my trans identity, but just wasn't feeling like I could really progress. And so I started Skyping with this therapist, and it was really helpful to be able to get some ideas out there and talk things out, even though I wasn't able to take actions yet. So I'd seen her for like the last 2 years, and essentially what led to our breakup is, I was scheduled for surgery, and for some reason or another, we just hadn't seen each other like for the next month or so. And that whole time that I was feeling a lot of anxiety and fear with surgery, I never once thought of calling her because we just aren't that close, which is kind of indicative of the problem. It's pretty illuminating, actually. But what happened was she went to Spain for a holiday, and she sent me an email wishing me luck with surgery, not knowing that it had been canceled. And so then I respond a 1-sentence email reply: my surgery's been canceled. Because that's all I was capable of saying. I even had a video up where I was explaining my surgery being canceled, but I had to take it down because every time I'd see my channel and it was that much more aware, like it was too hard for me to see it. So anyway, I just said my surgery's been canceled, and she responds, I hope you're okay. And then she came home. And she didn't call me. She didn't call me for nearly a week. She texted me, and then I was like, I'm glad you got home safe and sound. When did you get home? And she said, I got home Saturday, and it was Thursday. And I was like, no, that's not okay. Like, that's not okay. I get to feel like you care about me, and I get to feel like my pain is very real, and 5 days is an eternity. I know that I'm not like a high maintenance client. She's never had to worry about safety issues or suicide or depression. I've never called her with like, this desperate need to talk to her. Like, we'd make appointments every 3-4 weeks. It was just, I just needed my letter, and I also had been in a therapeutic relationship for years, so I didn't want to, I knew that it's important in case something came up, to have a relationship already established. So, but despite not being a high maintenance client, I still deserve a call when you get in town, even if it was to say, gosh, I'm so sorry your surgery's been canceled. I'm busy until Thursday, but I definitely am going to make time for you on Thursday. Like, I needed her to express that she cared about me, and she didn't. So I talked to her about it. I went in a week after my surgery, actually, and it's like, you should know why I can't work with you anymore. I needed my T letter because I was starting testosterone the next day, but I told her, I know you like me, I just don't feel like you care about me. And I don't know why I would have to explain this to a gender specialist who's treating a transgender patient, that my surgery being canceled is devastating. And I needed to know that you care. I needed to know that she cared about me. And, you know, what was kind of almost worse is that she was so receptive. And I was really honest. I wasn't, like, accusatory or like, you know, demonstrative or anything. Like, I was just like, you know, this sucks. It sucks. I've worked with you for 2 years and I don't feel like you care about me. And she said, you know, is this the first time that you've ever had this suspicion, or you thought this before? And I said, and her questions really made me feel like she wanted to make sure that this wasn't an issue with her other clients, which, like I said, it's almost worse, like that she was so receptive and she was apologetic, and she's like, I'm sorry that I've disappointed you, and if, when the dust settles on this, if you feel like you may be, you know, open to working with me again, she had a very open door policy, and it was very kind of her, she was like an adult about it, and was like, yeah, I dropped the ball, and she kind of explained her situation and her perspective, right? Because you can only tell a story from your side, but what's done is done. Like, I can't work with someone who I don't know if she cares about me. Like, I can't. That's not therapeutic, you know? And I do have to say, we never really got very close, and I think part of that is me. My last relationship with my therapist did not end very well. I have another video about me crying. I'm on it if you want to check it out. It's called Fired My Therapist. And so I think I was reluctant to be intimate with a therapist again. And I think part of it was that maybe I knew somewhere inside that my surgery gets canceled, I'm not going to hear from her for days after she returns home. Like, it was a kind of a preemptive thing, maybe. So there is a piece of our that we just didn't connect very well, and I do think part of that was me. But I think, like I said, I think I kind of saw where she wasn't going to be supportive, and so, you know, you guys, I just had such a lack of therapeutic support. With the support meeting happened that Thursday. She came home on Saturday. I didn't talk to her till the following Thursday, and then I didn't talk to her again until a week after surgery. Like, we're talking weeks had gone by, and we didn't even speak. It was a text messaging where I was like, I'm glad you're home. When'd you get home? You know, like, it was just, there was nothing really personal about it, and I deserve to feel like I'm cared for, you know? And, yeah. So because I had such a lack of therapeutic support and so many emotions going on, and I'm just acutely aware of all the ways that I've sabotaged myself in the past, I went back to my old therapist, and it's been okay. It's been really good, actually. She doesn't support medical transition, but she never ever brings it up. I'm the one who brings it up every time, because it's an issue for me, but it's not really an issue for her. Even if I would express concern about surgery, she never once said maybe you shouldn't have surgery. So I feel like our sessions are therapeutic. And I told my gender specialist, I was like, you know, I'm going back to a therapist who doesn't support medical transition because she is more supportive than you have been. And that speaks volumes. I'm just going to be seeing this other therapist until the end of the year, because then I get new insurance. And I just needed to make sure that I had some sort of support, because, like I said, like, certain things, I have friends, and I can talk to friends, and I can talk to you guys, and relationships that I've established with you guys, but there are things that I'm not going to talk about without speaking to a professional. So it was good for me to go back to this other therapist, and it's been good. I mean, she's been great, and her feelings about medical transition hasn't really affected our relationship and our therapeutic relationship at this point. And I think part of it is because I know that I'm just seeing her in the interim, but you know, this might actually be a push in the pants that I need. I think it might be good for me to work with a guy. I've never worked with a guy therapist, and my work does cover bottom surgery. I have to see a PhD for like 1.5 years or a year or something. I don't know exactly the requirements, but so this might be a good kick in the pants to start finding a male PhD. And I don't feel like, I feel pretty safe and pretty stable, you know, so I'm not in like this dire need of you know, a therapist. I just had a lot going on, surgery, and in this support meeting, and she was actually really helpful when I was expressing just my experience with this support meeting, and my disappointment with my surgery being canceled. And so I have gotten a lot of my therapeutic needs met, but it's been at a very real cost, and it's hard to have conversations where you're asserting what you need, that it's not up for debate. It's not up for debate that I get to feel like you care about me. Like, if you don't care about me, why are you in this job? Like, it's just, and I think about how deliberate I am in my professional life, I am so conscientious that I work with people's money. And this isn't something to be taken lightly. Like, I deal with money, a huge amount of money all day long, and it changes people's lives. And I have respect for that. So why can't, if your job is to care about someone and make sure that they have adequate support, then that's your job. Like, that's what you've chosen to do, and you make a living off of it. To do it right, goddammit, But it's kind of more in line with the support meeting and the facilitators there. But yeah. So yeah, that's I'm glad that she was really receptive, and like, she heard what I had to say, and it was hard. And she said, I'm sorry that I disappointed you. So yeah, it's kind of intense. But anyway, thank you guys for all of your support, and I hope you're well.